Hello, let us discuss another 600 word question that is from 2019 June question paper. What is that question? What is knowledge and what is the relationship between knowledge and research? Then, what are the sources of knowledge? Now let us see how can we explain knowledge. We human being observe many things or perceive many things, and through our sense organs we can perceive things, isn't it? Then we are inferring things, we are reflecting on what we observe in nature, we are imagining many things. The product of all these processes are called knowledge. Then we all have belief system, we all have some judgments and beliefs. Some beliefs may be supported by evidence, so we can say that if a belief is supported by evidence, it is called a justified belief. These justified beliefs are called knowledge. Okay, so this is the simple definition of knowledge. Then next we will see what is research. Then we can go through what is the relationship between research and knowledge. Research is in a detailed and systematic study of something to find out more information about it. If we have some information on a particular topic and we wanted to get more information, then we will do research. It is the process of discovering new knowledge. This knowledge is either the development of new concepts or advancement of existing knowledge. Maybe what we are finding out through research is a new knowledge or something we are adding on the existing knowledge. Both way research help us. So the research leads to knowledge, and at the same time the new knowledge leads to research. So we can say that research and knowledge both are related with each other, and both are just like a cyclic process. We can further say that the researchers constantly trying to find new ways to understand the world with the ultimate goal of improving our lives. Each one of us wanted to improve our lives. The ultimate goal of research is nothing but to improve the way of life. The purpose of research is therefore to find out what is known now and what is not known and what we can develop further. In this way, scientists can develop new theories, ideas, and products that shape our society in a better way. Research helps us to further understand the world and learn how this knowledge can be applied to everyday life to make it better. As you all know, there are different types of research. If a teacher wanted to solve her own problem in the classroom, she will do action research. Like that, we can say basic research or pure research. What is basic research or pure research? Basic research or pure research is an original investigation into the reason behind a process, phenomenon, or a particular event. It focuses on generating knowledge. Usually, the pure research or basic research aims to generate more knowledge. In short, we can say that research leads to the generation of new knowledge, and new knowledge leads to further research. The relationship is cyclic in nature. So, this is the relationship between research and knowledge. So, then we can first define knowledge, define research, and then we can see the relationship between what the knowledge and research. Now let us discuss the second part of the question, that is what are the sources of knowledge. You all know that our personal experiences are source of knowledge. Whenever we are solving a problem in a fruitful way, in a better way, that same way we will do or we wanted to solve the problem in future life. Like that, there are many sources of knowledge. What are they? Life experiences. Then next one, customs and tradition. We all are living or in a part of a society, and we all have our own customs and beliefs. So these customs and tradition are another source of knowledge. And then deductive reasoning. We will do reasoning in both ways, one in deductive reasoning and one in inductive reasoning. And then fifth one is scientific method. So these five sources we can say as the sources of knowledge. Let us see life experiences. It is the most fundamental source for solving our problem. Early men confronted with a sudden flow of water or flood, they could have saved their life by remembering that water flows only downhills. It does not stay on hills. So they can move towards the hilly areas and they could have saved their life. So they use their experiences. Likewise, a mechanic can repair the car, or the mechanic can repair a wheel or punctured wheel. Like that, from their earlier experiences, they can solve the present problem. The people may thus draw upon their own individually accumulated body of knowledge and skill derived from their own personal experiences. However, one has to keep it in mind that the limitation of personal experiences as a source of knowledge. There is limitation for personal experience. We cannot experience all and everything in this world. It is not at all possible. That limitation we always should keep it in mind. Then an uncritical use of personal experiences may lead to erroneous conclusions. Sometimes maybe our conclusion may not be right if we are uncritically. Whenever we are deciding something, we have to think about that solution critically. Then we have to follow that. Otherwise, we may lead to erroneous conclusions. Then what are the limitations of these personal experiences? We may omit evidences that does not agree with their opinion, our own opinion. If something is not agreeing with our own opinion, we may omit that. That is one problem, one limitation. Then next one, we may establish a belief on insufficient evidence. Without proper evidence also, sometimes we will establish a belief. What is the third one? We may fail to observe significant factors relating to a specific situation. In a specific situation, sometimes we may fail to observe all the things, all the parts of that problem. Then last one, may draw improper conclusion due to personal prejudices. Each and every one of us have our own belief and prejudices. Based on that, maybe we will draw improper conclusion. All these are the limitations of personal experiences. Next source of knowledge is authority. Seeking and accepting the explanation of authorities is a well-established method of getting knowledge. You all know that we will always follow authority to get knowledge and solving our problem encountered in our life. When one has not personal experience, even I don't have a personal experience on a particular thing, we can always ask your parents or your siblings, teachers, or some experts. Who is an expert actually? They have more experience. People often seeks the advice of experts who, because of their intellect or training or experience or due to aptitude, they are better informed person. They are known as experts. So experts are also, we can say, authority. So we can always go for authority to get knowledge. Authorities also have limitations. Authorities also have limitations like personal experience. They cannot be infallible. We cannot say that it is always right. Accepting the opinion of experts unconditionally may lead to erroneous conclusion. So what we should think, that we should keep it in mind that we always follow something, or we always believe something based on our critical thinking. We should think critically and then we adopt something. So the second source of knowledge is authority. What is the third source of knowledge? Customs and tradition. We all are living in a society. We have our own customs and tradition. We can't say that all the customs are right, but usually we don't question our custom or our tradition, but we should follow it critically only. Even this customs and tradition, whenever we are following it, we should follow it critically. Then members of a particular community. So third one, members of a particular community depend on their customs and tradition for answers of their problems come across in the personal and professional field. But one should not make the mistake of assuming that everything that has customarily been done is right. We have to think critically, then adopt it. So that is the third source of knowledge. Next one is reasoning. Okay, men attempt to comprehend the world around him by applying the faculty of reasoning. You all know that we all do the process of reasoning. There are two types of reasoning: deductive and inductive. Deductive reasoning is a thinking process in which one proceed from general to specific statement. Whenever we think about this deductive reasoning, you should remember a short form DGP. DGP in the sense, in deductive reasoning, D for deductive reasoning, we are following a general statement towards a particular statement. So P for particular or specific statement. For example, we can say that there are three premises for a deductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning, we are following Aristotelian syllogism. In syllogism, there are three premises. First premise is called a major premise, that is self-evident proposition, and the second premise is known as a minor premise, that is providing a particular instance. We are talking about a particular instance. In the major premise, we are talking about a general statement, and then third one is a conclusion. For example, we can say that all planets orbit the sun. You know that all the planets are revolving around the sun. It is a major premise. It is a general facts, isn't it? We are talking about all planets. Then what is the minor premise here? We can say a particular thing. For example, Earth is a planet, so Earth is a planet. We can say that it is a minor premise. So what conclusion we can make out of that? We can think that therefore Earth also orbit around the sun. So that is the conclusion. This is an example for deductive reasoning. So here we are giving a general statement first. What is a general statement? All planets, about all planets we are talking about. Next we are telling that Earth is also a planet, so that what is our conclusion? Earth also orbit around the sun. That is an example for deductive reasoning. Now let us see what is inductive reasoning. Here we can think about a short form IPG. What is IPG? I for inductive reasoning, P for particular instance, and G for general instance. Okay, so inductive reasoning has been derived to complement the deductive reasoning. So these both the reasonings are complementary to each other. Both will help us in different way. Then for example, I can say that, see, whenever I saw a dog, he was barking at me, and then when I saw another dog in the main road, that dog was also barking at me. So then I conclude that all the dogs hates me. That is, we can call it as an inductive reasoning. Otherwise, for example, my pet dog is very friendly. My pet dog is very friendly with me. My neighbor's pet dog is also very friendly with me. My another one of my friend's house, there is another pet dog. That pet dog is also friendly with me. So I can conclude that all the pet dogs are friendly with me, and all the pet dogs likes me. That is my conclusion. So that is an example for inductive reasoning. Next source of knowledge is scientific method. In the previous video, we talked about the scientific method in detail, and we saw that there are many steps, and the steps may vary according to the type of research we do and all that, isn't it? So scientific method, we can say that it is the combination of both deductive and inductive reasoning. So in order to construct more practical method of attaining reliable knowledge, scholars such as Newton, Galileo and their successors or followers eventually combined the deductive and inductive thought processes. This synthesis of reason and observation gave rise to a modern scientific method. So this combination of both the inductive and deductive method gave rise to scientific method. This scientific process is a systematic process. Here both the induction and deduction act as an opposing processes for the total problem solving. Induction provide the groundwork for hypothesis, and deduction explore the logical sequence of hypothesis. In an investigation, one constantly shift between deduction and induction. So in an inquiry or in the process of investigation, that is a scientific process, it is a systematic process. So one shift from deduction to induction and induction to deduction. In short, scientific method is a back and forth movement of thought in which man first operate inductively from particularly known experiences or observation towards a meaningful whole, and then deductively from suggested whole to a particular observation. Now let us see what are the important steps of scientific method. We already discussed earlier in the previous video regarding different steps, but let us see once again what are the important steps. First is identification and definition of the problem, then formulation of hypothesis. Here in the formulation of hypothesis we are using both inductive and deductive reasoning. Then next is testing the hypothesis. In order to test the hypothesis, we are collecting the data and we are observing each and every instances. In the next step, we will analyze the data and evidences, and we will reject or modify our hypothesis. These are the different steps of scientific method. So in short, we can say that there are different sources of knowledge, and then scientific method is the best out of all that, because that combine both deductive and inductive reasoning.